Okay everyone, today I want to talk about clan versus clan a little bit for some very specific reasons. This is, by the way, the only wallpaper that I could find that indicated at least some versus theme. So this is obviously most of a live arena, but again, today we're talking about clan versus clan. I did videos in the past where I talked about where you can get really easy points for clan versus clan points and what you can do there. But today I want to talk about something in general, because one of the things that I notice consistently is that a lot of clans, not only individual players, just approach the entire event, in my opinion, the wrong way. And I want to talk about this a little bit today. As I already highlighted in the past, a couple of the easiest ways how you can actually get easy points in clan versus clan is by just saving your books. So this is something that you honestly should do when you know that an event is coming up. Get a couple of champions that you still need to book and then just throw all of your books at them, and you will very quickly see that you ramp up a lot of books there. If you have a couple of fusions, for example, or fragments, where you don't have to pull a champion immediately, you can also do that. That's also a lot of points that you can get. And then obviously if you're active in arena and everybody else in the game, then just getting some artifact crafting going will give you easy points. There's other stuff within the game too, like clan boss, like faction wars, that are always very, very nice. But generally speaking, those things give you the most points the fastest. So using books, especially when we're going talking about the legendary tomes, crafting a couple of items, and yeah, just doing all of the things around it, as explained a second ago, pulling a couple of champions, that really helps. But here's a question that you should always think about a bit, and this is, do you actually want to win the event? This might be a little bit silly, but this is, for example, my main clan, and we have for a long time now decided that whenever there is an event that has only clan rewards, the only thing that we're going to work forward to is we're going to try and get the last milestone, and that is essentially it. If you're in a clan that doesn't really have a lot of whales that are regularly pumping lots and lots of money into the game, this is one of the easiest things that you can do, because you're slowly starting to go up these tiers. But if you think that you are going to end up in, let's say, tier 6 and regularly get the last reward here, you're dreaming. That's just not happening. For something like that, you really need to have an extremely active clan that puts money into the game, does it on a regular, and does this essentially every single event. So clan versus clan is a very, very weird thing. Outside of personal rewards, I really don't think it's worth it. So my main clan has a long time ago decided that when we're talking about normal clan versus clan, all we're going for is a last milestone. That's it. We do not care about winning the event whatsoever. We have a couple of requirements on what the minimum needs to be for a player to get rewards, but that's essentially it. And nobody is putting a lot of numbers in if there are no personal rewards. It gets a little bit more interesting when there are personal rewards. Then you have, of course, a double incentive. You get, on the one hand, your own rewards, you get the clan rewards too, and in those we always judge a little bit, okay, do we go up against a clan that just consists of whales that will just run over us? Then we still save some of our resources, and if not, then we're investing. So in this case, you're not only saving, let's say, your books, also a couple of these fragment summons that you could pull for the next clan versus clan, but you're also making a bit of a distinction, thinking, is this an event that we actually want to win, yes or no? Because the next problem is, if you start winning too many of these clan versus clans, the game is throwing you against stronger and stronger opponents, and that might matter when you have an event with personal rewards, where you actually want to win, because you get something tangible out of it, and now you're having a really tough time. So losing the events where there are no rewards, or less rewards, might not really be a bad idea. And the one thing that I noticed is that when we're talking about clan versus clan, a lot of the teams, a lot of the clans that I've actually been, they are obsessed with this, and I don't quite understand why. Because especially outside of the personal rewards, what you're getting for an event like this one right now is very meager. And so I would heavily recommend that you would really think about, do we want to win these events? If so, which one? And doesn't it sometimes make more sense to save our resources for the next event with personal rewards? And if the event with personal rewards starts with your opponent just immediately completely crushing you, then don't use your books. Unless obviously you really need to, but if it's something that you can wait for a little bit longer, wait for the next event with personal rewards. Hold a couple of things back. Hold a couple of fragment summons, for example, back. One thing where you could focus on instead if you're trying to win clan events, is more so focusing on Chimera, trying to go for the Hydra Clash here, for example, get better numbers out of this and just optimizing your lineup a bit. Here also, the area bonuses that I talked about in the last video can become really important, because again, that boosts your Hydra damage too. And then of course you have the same basically with your Chimera, where you want to do a similar thing to try and see if you can win that Hydra Clash. Now all of a sudden you're getting really good rewards here. So clan versus clan is kind of interesting to get the milestone rewards at a minimum, and if there's personal rewards, that makes it more attractive. So for those, you should save your resources, you should save your books, your fragment summons, maybe all of the resources that you have for artifact crafting as well. But for a normal event, don't think that you have to win all of them. There's very little that you're gonna get out of this. You're progressing a bit of a clan, but it's not necessarily worth it. So play this with patience and really pick your events where you say, okay, this one I really want to win. Then on the other hand, when we're talking about events like the Hydra Clash and the Chimera Clash, those are really important. So those I would actually recommend that people invest a bit more time in, try to optimize their lineups and really attempt to get into a decent position for this, because the rewards here are actually very, very good, very strong, and it helps you a lot more to grow as a clan too, because the artifacts that you get there and the sets that you get there are much more useful in all areas of the game. So just a little bit of advice here, again, simply because I've seen how teams are currently thinking about clan versus clan, how heavily they are focusing on it. So don't throw too many of your resources in. I've seen way too many clans where I honestly have people pulling their shards outside of shard events just because they think they're helping their clan out if they get a few more points. Please don't fall into this trap. Save your shards for shard events, 4x2 events, for fusions, whatever it may be. Do not pull stuff like this simply for clan versus clan because you think it gives you some insane rewards here. It usually doesn't. So plan ahead, think about which events are actually worth investing in, and coordinate it with your clan. You're going to get much better resources in the long run, and you're going to get more rewards just in general and progress not only your own account faster, but also the clan faster. So keep that in mind. Thanks for watching. If there's any other tips and suggestions that you guys actually have on how to approach this and what you do with your own clan, drop a comment in the comment section. Try and gather a couple of tips there and see if others agree with you. Maybe we can do a video about some of the advice as well. So if you have good ideas, throw them in the comments. That being said, thank you very much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, of course, if you made it to the end of the video, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.